Hi, beloveds. Dr. David Goldberg here with one of our amazing prayer chaplains, Heidi Huisjen. We wanted to take a moment to honor Lawrence Kohlman, who I shared during the service, made his transition this past Thursday evening. Lawrence was a long-time member, decades-long member of this community. And there were so many things that I appreciated about Lawrence and his family, all who have been engaged and involved with Unity on the Avenue for decades. You know, three of the things that stick with me about beloved Lawrence is shortly after I started, Lawrence had stepped away from the community and was coming back to be one of our prayer chaplains. So in the middle of a pandemic, we had all of our prayer chaplains out on the labyrinth. We were distanced, we were masked, everyone was wearing their stoles, and it really was a beautiful event, a wonderful homecoming, if you will, a welcome home for Lawrence. So what I know of Lawrence is that he is a man of faith, that he is a man of integrity, and that he is a man of action. First and foremost, a man of faith. I know that he was ordained in another Eastern tradition. We had great conversations about that and the similarities and the differences and how he would find his way through what served him and how he could serve and offer that to the community. And also, he served for years, again for decades, on our so many teams here, but also on our facilities team. And if you've ever been here in the heat of summer or the cold of winter, you have Lawrence to thank for our swamp cooler and for our heat and for so many other things that he chose to step into, most of which he did himself. Truly a self-made man, and that is one of the many ways that he chose to contribute to our community. And finally, a man of action. He was thoughtful, he was prayerful, certainly as a leader of our chaplain team, reaching out to members to provide prayers. I was humbled and honored to be on his prayer list, and Lawrence was kind enough to pray for me, being a new member and a new minister in this community. So I find him extraordinary. I still find his energy very welcoming and very inviting and engaging. So, you know, one of the things that I know from grief work is when someone releases their physical body, it's not for them that we grieve. Whatever our belief system, we know that Lawrence is doing what Lawrence needs to be doing for his soul journey, whatever that looks like, whatever that is. So when we grieve, we're grieving for ourselves. And that is what we wanted to come together and share with you. And I know, Heidi, that Lawrence was a close friend, a mentor, and you and he were connected on so many levels.
Yeah, David. I have to say, when I heard about Lawrence's passing, it was heartbreaking. I felt my heart break because he was such a presence in my life and also such a presence in our prayer chaplain group, as you mentioned. He had the most amazing prayers, and every time you experience one of his prayers, it just set in your heart a place of ease and comfort. I always felt that way about Lawrence. And you mentioned your conversations with him. He always had a tremendous amount of curiosity. He would share his perspective, as you well know, and then he would ask what I wanted or what I believed, and then we would have an ongoing conversation. I remember many conversations in our breezeway out there, or some conversations with Lawrence in the middle of the afternoon after service. And as I was thinking about my heart, and as you mentioned, the part that's the hardest is for us on the planet still here. Lawrence is released out of his body, and he's free, and he's still in our presence in a way that may be different for us and for Lawrence, but I know that he's here with us. And I thought about the 12 powers and how, or what power did Lawrence embody the most. And for me, it was zeal. I always thought of Lawrence in that attribute. And so I picked up my copy of Divine Audacity by Linda Martella Whitsett, and I wanted to just share a little bit in honor of Lawrence. The light of zeal, the power of enthusiasm, audacity for sure, and devotion. Those all to me ring true of Lawrence. Do not lag in zeal, be ardent in spirit, serve the Lord. Romans 42 verses 11. And I want to just share a short meditation that we all have this place in our life to embody zeal and to honor Lawrence in that place of being in that place of zeal. I am the magnificent power of zeal. I am enthusiastic, audacious, and devoted. I eagerly awaken each morning with purpose, exuberant about the choices ahead of me. I boldly think, envision, and act in the direction of my intentions. I devote my thought, my energy, and time toward being a blessing by using my gifts and my talents for the good. I am the ever-flowing, always forward-moving vibration of possibility. So true. I remain attentive to the present moment, knowing that my focus on the present is my ticket to my desired future. Sounds so much like Lawrence. I am centered in the evolutionary divine power of zeal and the inexhaustible supply of passion and readiness. I do not dissipate this power by empty or frenetic activity. Instead, I remain wholehearted, again so true with Lawrence, and single-minded in my spiritual practice of enthusiasm, audacity, and devotion. I am inspired and focused, exhilarated in my sense of purpose. And I just want to say, Lawrence, and to everyone out there, just that I'm inspired. I've always been inspired by Lawrence, and rest in peace, Lawrence. We know that you will be present with us.
And that is the truth. That is what we all know as metaphysicians, as those who believe in beyond the physical. One of my last exchanges with Lawrence was on New Year's Eve, and I reached out by text to say, please let me know what you need. I'm continuing to hold you in prayer. Where are you on your journey? How can I support you? And he replied almost immediately. He said, thank you, David. He said, this is a time for me to lean into my faith. And this is a time for me to call on God, whom I have lived with and served my entire life. So through the end of his physical journey, Lawrence was leaning into his faith. He was doing what he knew to be true, his truth with a capital T. And on behalf of our entire Unity on the Avenue Spiritual Center community, we want to offer our love and support to his beloved, to Steffi, to his daughters, to his grandson, Gavin. Please know that our doors are always open. Our hearts are always open. Your husband, your dad, your grandfather had such a tremendous impact on so many in this community. It is our humble honor to be able to support you as you move forward. So whatever we can do, we are here. And please know that the family is still working on memorial arrangements. And as those facts become known, we will share them as appropriate. And now, if you would, please join Heidi and me in prayer. How good it is to know of a person of faith who has released his biodegradable flesh suit that was no longer serving him. How good it is to know that Lawrence is dancing with the divine, that he is doing what is his to do, that he is sharing his wisdom, he is sharing his thoughts, he is sharing his ideas, and he is listening and gaining more knowledge and more information, because that is who he was, that is who he is and will continue to be. I bless him in accessing the wisdom of the universe. I bless him in continuing to appear in the hearts, in the minds of those who loved him so dearly. I bless all the work, all of the time, all of the energy, all of the effort, all of the treasure that Lawrence invested in this community. And we will continue to remember this beloved, though he no longer walks among us in physical form. My spiritual self knows all is well. My human self hurts with Steffi and the whole Kohlman family. We bless you, Brother Lawrence. We honor you. We love you. We release you into what is ever yours to do. We are grateful for your time among us. And I know at the core of my being that all is well. I release, I let go, I allow it to be. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. Amen.